Welcome to WSOT TV City Talk. We are so glad that you are joining us today. I'm your host, Angela Stepp, and I have beside me the Chief of Police for the City of Marion, Angela Haley. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's a delight to have you. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us.
I'm happy to be here.
It's wonderful. You know, we have so many viewers that send in questions all of the time, and those questions, I think you are the best person to respond to, yet we try to make do when the mayor is on, and he often will defer to you and say, I probably need to check with Chief Haley on that.
All
so
right.
now we're going to get to bring up a lot of the questions that we received in the past. Some of them, we have one about scanner radios, and I know you know what I'm talking about, those of you who watch the show. And I'm going to let you be able to address that with a little bit more definitive answer than we've been able to give folks till this point.
Sure.
Now, folks, I want to let you know that this is your show. And what is WSOT City Talk? Well, it's your opportunity to have a voice and to be able to express your ideas, your thoughts, your concerns, ask your questions to our local city officials. And today you get to ask questions with our Police Chief, Angela Haley. And next month you'll be talking to Mayor Jess Allenbaugh. So let me jump into some of the questions here. Now, in the past, I just mentioned the scanner radio. In the past, we had a viewer that called in, wanted to know when they were going to be able to listen to police activity on their scanner radio. They could listen to fire and ambulance runs, but they could no longer hear the police activity that was going on. And so we had the chief of the fire department, Jeff Williams, on, and he said he did not believe at this point in time that people would be able to start listening to that again on their scanner radios. And so now that I have you, because it was specifically why, another question came in asking specifically why can they not listen? And we know that some of that has to do with public safety, but probably also technology, improving and upgrading technology. But I would like to hear from you. Why can people no longer listen on their scanner radio?
Okay, it is technology based. We've switched to a 800 megahertz, I believe it's a digital system. And so in order to listen to the police department on our primary frequencies, you would have had to have upgraded your scanner and purchased one of those. There are cell phone apps that people can download to listen to police frequencies, but they're getting ready, the state's getting ready to do an upgrade, and we are actually reprogramming all of our radios so that we are going to be able to continue to communicate as well.
Well, that's really good news. And so, folks, while you won't be able to listen to on your traditional scanner radios, you can still listen to it. You just have to purchase an upgraded piece of equipment or go with a cell phone app. They're a lot easier and they're less expensive too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's good for those who want to have an idea of what's going on in their surrounding area. They can still follow along.
Yes.
So that's good. Well, you know, folks, as we continue talking, I want to let you know that there's a couple of different ways that you can send in your questions and comments and suggestions. You can call our message line. It's a local number, 765-536-WSOT. You can also fire off a text to that message too. So I know those are really easy to do, especially when you're on the go. Also, check out our website. It's ctmarion.com, and on there you can catch archived episodes. Go back and listen to an answer that you maybe missed when you tuned in. You can also submit your questions, videos, pictures, ideas. Submit them all there online too. It's real easy. It's really user-friendly. You can do it on your mobile phone as well. So 536-WSOT, we want to hear from you. All right, now I have a couple of questions that came in, and it has to do with needles. And I'm going to kind of put them together a little bit here. The first one came in, and they were asking about a needle exchange program. I'm going to read specifically the question.
Okay.
Why does Indiana defy government mandates? The CDC recommends needle exchange to keep HIV/AIDS epidemic down, but Indiana bans needle exchange. So that one I looked into. That's the first part.
Right.
And then the second part came in from a different viewer. That they have found needles on the ground near the electric station and the Grant County Family YMCA. And they are concerned about that. So that's something that we probably need to discuss as well. First, though, the needle exchange. What can you tell us about the needle exchange situation?
Needle exchanges are not mandated currently. They are a suggestion, and it is something that we have discussed here in Grant County, but it is not something that the police department would implement. Mm-hmm. It would require other community partners to assist with that, but that's not something currently that we are providing. Mm-hmm. We have been in discussions about it, though.
Mm-hmm. I would suggest then that folks maybe go on to your indiana.gov website and check out the CDC website as well, and find out what it takes to actually get a program started, since that is something that is outside the responsibility area of the police department. I know that Scott County here in Indiana does have a needle exchange program. It's one of the larger ones. I believe you do have to receive permission from the state to be able to operate one of those, but that is something that is possible in the state of Indiana.
Yes.
Based upon the research that I found on the federal websites and the state websites. So I want to encourage you to go check that out. Now, I want to also then move on to that question about needles on the ground near the YMCA. You know, that's a really scary thing, because you know that is a facility that is being used by families, children and adults of all ages. And, you know, whenever you see a needle on the ground, that's dangerous. And there's the risk of somebody stepping on it or picking it up, and, you know, if it's a child, not realizing what they're doing and getting injured. First off, how would you like to address that? And secondly, what should people do if they encounter a used needle on the ground?
Okay. Unfortunately, with heroin usage up, there are needles that are being found throughout the community, not just at the YMCA. What I would suggest people do if they locate a needle, I do not recommend that they pick it up. They should alert the property owner so that proper disposal can take place.
Okay. If they have no way of alerting, let's say, you know, maybe it was just kind of in that, they could go say something to the YMCA and let
Yes.
them know. But if this is maybe on a sidewalk, long, maybe a road, a street here in town, would you still go up and knock on a door and say there's a needle in your front yard?
I would alert somebody. I wouldn't just leave it laying there. Mm-hmm. Proper disposal. It needs to be put in a sharps container and disposed of appropriately. Mm-hmm. That is something that we have also been discussing in this community. You know, how do we properly dispose of medical waste that is found laying on a sidewalk on private property?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's a very important thing then. So if you see something, say something. Don't just let it sit there. You know, and you also think about the possibility if maybe that needle is the homeowner's. You know, maybe they are diabetic and they didn't realize that something slipped out when they were trying to transport it or something. If it is a used needle, then you also don't want the homeowner, especially if there's children in the neighborhood, to be unaware and then have a child go out and accidentally come in contact with it. So definitely if you see something, say something. Don't just leave it there, but make sure that you don't handle it without proper protection if you are the one that decides that you want to try to dispose of it. But I would say they could call, who could they call if they're wondering about safe disposal?
Currently, you could attempt to contact the pharmacies in town, your doctor's office, to see if they would assist you in proper disposal of that. Mm-hmm. Any place that would have sharps containers. Mm-hmm. Again, we don't have, what I would like to see happen in this community is I would like to have locations where people can appropriately dispose of those things. Mm-hmm. And so that is something that we're working on currently. Mm-hmm. So I would suggest talking to the community partners, anybody that would have sharps containers in their facilities, to see if you can properly dispose of those items at those locations.
That's very helpful.
Because those aren't things that we want laying around our communities. No. We've got, it's not just the accidental finds. You know, I have a child who is involved in Cub Scouts. And, occasionally the kids go out and they do community cleanup. They'll go to a neighborhood and they'll clean up. And unfortunately, one of the things that we've had to start telling the kids is, if you see, number one, don't put your hand any place that you can't see. Don't reach into anything that you can't see. And in addition to that, if you do see a needle laying on the ground, you need to alert an adult. Do not pick it up.
Yes, so important. So be very, very cautious. And if you are a minor, make sure that you tell a parent or an adult that you find it. So, all right, now I got to keep an eye on time.
Sure.
So a lot of things to get to. The next thing I want to jump into, and we're going to end up having to take a quick break. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to pause for a really quick break, but I want to let you know that the next question is going to be a little bit of a dialogue about medical marijuana and its transport and a few other things that are associated with that. So ready to answer that? It's going to be a tough one.
We'll see.
All right. Well, we want to remind you that this is your show, so give us a call, 536-WSOT, text that, or go to the show website, ctmarion.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with some more WSOT City Talk in just a moment.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back to WSOT TV City Talk. We're so glad that you're joining us today. Now, I want to remind you that this is your show, and so what we talk about is what you submit to us to talk about on the show. And you can submit your questions and your comments, your concerns, and suggestions to the show a couple of different ways. You can call into the message line at 765-536-WSOT. You can text that number as well, or go to the show website, ctmarion.com, and you can submit your comments and questions online there. Now, I have a very special guest on the show with me today. It is the Chief of Police of the City of Marion, and her name is Angela Haley. And she has been very gracious to take a lot of time out of her schedule to come in here and visit with us and answer questions, and I have some tough ones for you right now.
All right.
All right, so I had a viewer that submitted inquiry about the transport of medical marijuana. And now, that is something that has been legalized in surrounding states around Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Illinois. That's something that has been present in all of those communities now. So Indiana, it's not.
Marijuana is illegal in the state of Indiana. I have checked with a couple of different officers. I also looked at some of the statutes, and I have not found anything that exempts somebody with a prescription for medical marijuana. It doesn't exempt them from the laws in Indiana.
So then one of the viewers that submitted a question is a cancer patient and expressed frustration for having to travel out of the state of Indiana to get access to medical marijuana, and is frustrated about the risk involved in transporting it back home. Also has heard of situations where somebody who is a paid employee of a facility in Michigan that was transporting to Ohio via Indiana, and they were pulled over, and the medical marijuana was confiscated, and charges were pressed, etc. So this individual then was, number one, frustrated about the situation that they're facing, and number two, sees it as the police confiscating needed medication. And so I'm then curious, based upon the fact that marijuana is illegal in the state of Indiana, that is, number one, why it's confiscated.
Correct.
And you cannot bring that into the state.
No.
Then what say you to the folks who may be seeing it as a need or a medication that is benefiting them, yet it's illegal for use here in the state?
Police officers don't write laws. We enforce laws. And so if you feel like there's a law out there that is not just, or you feel that there's a law out there that needs to be changed, then I would suggest and urge people to contact their legislatures.
And that's the only way that things are going to get changed. So if that is something, so whatever the law is what you are currently enforcing, and if the state legislature changes that, then you will go the other direction.
Correct. Currently, medical marijuana is not legal in the state of Indiana. I have not found anything on state statute that exempts anybody with a prescription. And so it is currently illegal in this state to have it.
Now, I have a question for you. I'm just curious, knowing that there are going to be dispensaries that are going to be popping up along the border all the way around the state. I'm wondering, with that, because that's an inevitability. So I'm wondering then, how is that going to affect policing on a local level, knowing that it's going to be flooding into our area just due to the proximity of the other surrounding states?
I don't know what the effect of that is going to be.
Too new.
We're not a border county, so it's not something I'm necessarily concerned with right now. I'm more, quite honestly, concerned about the heroin. I would call it an epidemic that is kind of a wave that's going across the country. Quite honestly, it's not a Grant County problem. It's a problem in the United States, and we need to try and figure out how to get a handle on that.
Share with us just a little bit about the heroin epidemic that you're seeing. What are you witnessing here? Because I have seen that affect a lot of people's lives in a very, very negative way.
Well, we had issues several years ago with people being addicted to prescription medications, and this community clamped down on the availability of prescription medication, and I think rightfully so. We need to be careful about prescribing and usage. I think the thing that we didn't realize that would happen would be that, and there is always another drug. Seems like there's always another drug that pops up. So when the availability of prescription medication kind of declined, heroin was there, and it was cheaper, and it was available, and so now we have this issue. It goes right back to the very first question that we discussed, or one of the first questions we discussed, which was needles laying in the streets, and that is that's a problem.
I have a friend that is in the medical field and works within the area of pain management, and one of the things that they're observing, we often think of heroin usage as being something that is pretty much something you see more in the youth or the younger people. But this individual actually is seeing a dependency or an addiction now starting with the senior adults, because some of them cannot afford their prescription medication. And so they are, in fact, turning to heroin because it is so inexpensive to get a hold of. Is this something that you're starting to see now as well?
We have seen that it doesn't just impact youth. It is something that is impacting every age group and every socioeconomic group as well. It's not your people who are addicted to drugs don't look like you would think they look. They can be from any family, from any walk of life.
That's something that I'm here working at Sunnycrest Baptist Church and working in ministry. I am aware of how it can affect lives, and some of the different individuals that have been ministered to and that I have had an opportunity to know and to love. I've seen how it can affect their lives so badly. And no, they don't fit a stereotype.
No, they don't.
I've got to keep us on track here for time because this is about viewer questions, but maybe at some other point in time we can maybe talk a little bit further about the heroin situation in our community.
Absolutely.
That would be wonderful. All right, so now I have to go to a third part of that question that came in, and that is the same viewer that wanted to know about medical marijuana transport also inquired about videoing police while they are on duty. And I'm just kind of summarizing that question just for the sake of time. And I am curious. I know we talked about the scanner radio situation earlier, but I'm now curious, what is your stance on people who are bystanders and they may be witnessing a situation that requires police response? What is your stance on those bystanders videoing the activity taking place, videoing the police and whatever the situation is?
Citizens have the right to videotape the police. The only thing that we ask is if you're going to be doing that you don't involve yourself in the situation. Please stay back and give the officer the room to do what they need to do on that call.
So safety first, and keep in mind, you don't want to be a problem for, not you, but bystanders don't want to become a problem for the police to be able to do their job and
We're
keep
just
everyone safe.
asking, yes, we're just asking if you're going to video or record us, don't insert yourself into the situation. Please give us the space to conduct our business and do our job and be safe.
That's so important. I think of some of the different things that I've witnessed on the news media, some of the tragedies that we've seen in recent months and weeks in some cases, where people that are videoing the situation that's going on, they are walking directly into the line of danger. And they seem to be completely unaware of the fact that they are doing that because they're so focused on capturing it on video that they forget that they're putting themselves in harm's way and making it a problem in some cases for the police to be able to get the situation under control. So, I just want to encourage everyone, if you're going to do it safely, right?
Yes.
All right. So another question that I had, actually, this came in from Connie, and this one is more of a complaint.
Okay.
And she's actually here. It says she would like to know why, when she went to use the bathroom at the police station the other day, it was like the filthiest bathroom she's ever seen, and she doesn't understand why someone couldn't come in there and clean it up. So she wanted to I'm going to take that as registering a formal complaint.
Okay. Well, I will tell you this. We have maintenance at City Hall. They clean Monday through Friday. Every day the police department is clean, to include the bathrooms. The bathrooms are dated, but not filthy. The maintenance people take great pride in the work that they do, and yes, our bathroom is dated, but I do not believe our bathroom is filthy. I use that restroom myself. So
I think also it only takes one person to go in and mess it all up. It could have been pristine 5 minutes before you went in, Connie, but then somebody went in and had a mess. So that's all I know how to say nicely.
Possibly.
So we just appreciate your willingness to submit that into the show, and we want to thank everybody who's had a chance to submit your questions and comments, and we hope that we've been able to answer some of your questions adequately. And if there was anything that we talked about that you would like further information on, please feel free to call into that message line, 536-WSOT, and let us know, or text it, or go to the show website, ctmarion.com. Now, I had one other viewer call in, and they want to know, how can they express their appreciation or their gratitude and support for the police who are doing a wonderful job despite very difficult circumstances? And I know that I saw some Facebook posts with people that actually there was one officer during the Walkway of Lights, the Christmas parade, that actually took his coat off and gave it to a little boy so he could actually get outside to be able to watch the parade instead of having to sit in a car, which, that I think is just a testimony to the heart of the officers and that servant's heart that they have.
Correct.
But for people who want to express their appreciation, how best can they show that?
Okay. We are thanked on a regular basis, and it's happened even more so since the McDonald's robbery, quite honestly. After that happened, we were flooded with cakes, cookies, food, people just coming to the department to thank us. We even had a family come with their children and sing to the officers during lineup.
Oh, wow.
So drop a note, drop a card, and I would encourage this of any profession. If you have received good service, don't be afraid to let their employer know that you did. A lot of times people focus on the negative. And I think if we focused more on the positive, how much better would our community be? I had service at a restaurant in town, and it was probably the best service I've ever had. And I asked to speak with the manager. And the manager, you could see as soon as they heard that I wanted to speak with them, their head just kind of hung down, and they were expecting the worst. And it wasn't a complaint at all. It was actually, I wanted to let them know that their employee did a fantastic job, and I could not have been happier. And so I would say that of any profession, if you have received good service, let them know that you appreciate the job that they've done, because all jobs are important.
So true. And if you want to send in your thoughts or encouragement or gratitude into the show, you can do that, and we will make sure to pass that on to Chief Haley. and Mayor Alan Ball as well. So reminder that you can go onto the show website, ctmarion.com, and you can submit your thoughts on the matter there. You can also just call into the message line, and we will make sure to forward every single one of those on to Mayor Alan Ball and Chief Haley. Now, I want to give you a chance. We've just got about 2 minutes left. I want to talk a little bit about some of the news that's happening within the police department. And there's something coming up real soon, Shop with a Cop, right?
Yes.
What is that?
Well, they're doing Cops with Kids. This is sponsored by the local FOP. And they're going to take just over 80 children shopping at Meijer to get some fun things and also some clothing that the kids need. The FOP accepts donations throughout the year towards this project. So if you've got empty change in your pocket and you want to donate to that cause, you can make contact with somebody down at the police department. We'd be happy to accept your donations for the upcoming year. We're going to be assisting the Salvation Army with bell ringing at Walmart. That's happening Friday. Mm-hmm. And then also we'll be volunteering at the Walkway of Lights, as a matter of fact, on the 21st of this month. So
people can definitely come out and express their support there too.
Absolutely. Come see the Walkway of Lights and come see the police department. 21st.
It'd be beautiful. But, you know, before I let you go, is there anything new or exciting coming up in 2017 that you'd like to share with folks?
Currently, no. We don't have any surprises coming up. We are still trying to work for the people and do the best job that we can.
Well, hats off to you. You're doing an excellent job, in my opinion, and thank you for all of the hard work and the sacrifice, and much gratitude expressed to you and all of the officers.
Thank you for inviting me.
Mm-hmm. It's been a joy to have you on the show, and I hope that you'll come back and join us again.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Well, we're all out of time, so we want to encourage you to continue watching some more quality family programming that you can trust right here on WSOT TV, and want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.